Islamophobia is a big topic that's going on. More and more people are starting to hate
one of my favorite subjects,
Islam in the United States.
Okay, we're just warming up.
In North
Okay.
Carolina, I had a friend of mine actually who said she was driving, she wears hijab. A man started following her, and she got into her university, came out at her and started pointing at her. He said, "You need to move to North Carolina because that's how they deal. They know how to deal with you."
Okay, yeah.
So on and so forth. So there's certain youth groups. I don't know, certain masjid I went to before that they're starting to do a program, sort of like anti-Islamophobia. Would that be something that is good? You know, is that sort of, you said stay away from the fitna completely?
If you're going to do that, yes, you got to stay away from the fitna. Doesn't mean don't be active. You got to be active. Number one, you got to be active. But you got to be active with knowledge. You're going to do this thing. Couple things here. Firstly, when we talk about Islamophobia, we got to look at these terms. Every term was coined by someone. And that person is the owner of that idea. And that idea is part of his larger worldview. Now, in general, we have the whole rights campaign. Everyone has rights. Muslims have rights, right? Everyone has rights. When we jump into this language, we're implicitly accepting this liberal framework that everyone has the right to be who they are, right? Everyone has the right to be who they are. You have to navigate that carefully, because as soon as you start doing that, you're going to attract to yourself other activist movements who also speak that language, right? All right? Because Islamophobia is the next one on the list after homophobia, right? Homophobia, Islamophobia. Biggest supporters of the anti-Islamophobia movement are gays, right? Because it's an overall framework that everyone should be who they want to be, and nobody should judge them. If we play into that language and use it expediently for our sake now, right, there's a bill that's going to come to us. Because we use that language, we jumped and bandwagon on that, now we're going to be asked in the future to support other causes that supported us. So you have to, I would navigate this whole Islamophobia and anti-Islamophobia thing very carefully. I just received a message from a MSA. They said that they were invited to an anti-Islamophobia march. They attended the march. They found out that the leadership of the march was the LGBT movement. Okay? So they were so happy, look, all these people supporting us. Well, of course, you're naive, you're kids, you don't know anything. Okay? What happened next? Next week, right? Before a week transpired. You see, we helped you. Now we expect you to help us. Well, you're against Islamophobia. Why Islamophobia, not homophobia? Right? Because you accepted the framework. A framework. Right? And so you have to accept the whole menu now. So when you do these things, we have to do it in an original way. In our own language. Firstly, we have to protect the sisters and protect the mu'mineen. We don't need for people to accept us. That's not something that's in our aqidah, right? In the Quran, show me one ayah of Quran, O mu'mineen, gather and make sure the kuffar like you. There's no such ayah, right? So when we're adopting something outside of the Quran, is going to contradict us eventually. And that's why I've never seen one of these activists be consistent in his Islam. He's going to always have to go and support some cause. That's kufr in your deen. Okay? So we have to do it, but you have to do it in an original way. Right? No, I don't call for people to not hate upon Muslims and accept us for who we are. I don't need your acceptance, and you don't need their acceptance. What we need to do is give da'wah. We need to protect the women on the one hand, protect the brothers, okay, on the one hand, security, but we also need to give da'wah. We need to be good at da'wah. I wouldn't jump on the activist language of anti-Islamophobia. I wouldn't use that. I'm doing da'wah, right? I'm doing da'wah. I don't need anyone's help to do da'wah, right? Our agenda is not to be accepted. Our agenda is to do da'wah to Allah. What is the point if everyone accepts you and they still don't accept Allah? Are you happy? Think about this. That's what Islamophobia is. We accept you. We still don't accept Allah, right? And you're accepting them, accepting you, and not accepting Allah. It's a very selfish mentality that we want us to be safe. No, we don't care about ourselves. We care that people believe in Allah Azza wa Jal. If that means we have to suffer a little bit in the process, that's worth the cost. Because the whole phobia thing and acceptance thing and don't judge mentality is all for people who they're fighting for the dunya. They want others to accept them so they have a good life. This is not our agenda. Our agenda is to call people to Allah Azza wa Jal, right? And you can like us or not like us, but and then security is one thing. That's a common sense thing. We should all be observing that. But we have to be very nuanced and very clear about what we want.